Hey everybody, welcome back to Nerd Word. This is going to be a test episode for a new versus series. BattleWorld is what I'm thinking of calling it. But today we are in the amazing America's Heroes here in Killeen, Texas. With me is Earl and I'm Josh. And this episode we're going to be doing hashtag Team Cap versus hashtag Team Iron Man. And for Team Iron Man is Earl and I'm Team Cap. So, Earl, tell us why you think Team Iron Man will win for Civil War.
I think because when you look at it in the way that it's presented by Iron Man and Tony Stark, who himself is a public figure, the big deal behind Civil War is an event happens that causes the government and certain superhumans to basically decide that there needs to be a registration of any one of the superpowers, be it hero or villain, mutant or otherwise. And with Tony Stark's side, it's easier for him to say, let's go ahead and do this, because his identity is already publicly known.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that did side with Tony were already publicly known, so it made it a lot easier for them. Spider-Man was the one kind of wild card that Tony had to convince to go public. Once he did that, Tony gained a lot of pretty much street cred with all the other heroes and villains out there as to being, let's go ahead and let the government know who you are. There's always the concerns about, Big Brother's watching and what will happen to your information, could fall into the wrong hands. But I think as far as Tony Stark did it, he actually believed that it was best for everyone to have the proper training and to go through all the phases of registering and also be held accountable for what you do. For instance, if your home is destroyed in a superhero battle, your insurance might not cover it. So you're out your house and you still have to pay the mortgage on it. So with knowing who the hero is, you can hold them responsible. And if they're actually like a government agency, part of the government agency, of superheroes, then you could actually hold the government responsible and, have them recoup your losses. Whereas if they're not registered, you can't sue them because you don't know their name. You can't, hold them accountable to anything. Other than that, a lot of individuals were coming into these superpowers, whether they were born with them or they used technology or somehow they acquired them, couldn't properly use them, or didn't use them correctly in battle, and therefore they were causing deaths, property damage. As in the comic, there was hundreds of people killed, including a elementary school. And that's kind of what set the pretty much superhero and the government off.
Mm-hmm. Now that is the comic book version of what
right.
Iron Man is going for. What are we talking about in the movie?
In the movie,
At least what we know.
what I know so far is that the Winter Soldier is framed for blowing up something like a UN conference with leaders from all over the world. Mm-hmm. And it's making a big call for everyone with superpowers to register. And it also makes the Winter Soldier, Bucky, the focus of the movie, as he's the one being hunted. And you have one side, which is Tony Stark's side, working for the government, trying to hunt him down. And then the other side is Captain America, saying, he is innocent. If you give all of our secrets to everyone, our loved ones, they're all in danger.
Yeah. So for me, I'm Team Cap. So for me, the comic book version of what happened in Civil War is Captain America didn't agree with Iron Man and the Registration Act. He went against S.H.I.E.L.D. He actually became a quote-unquote traitor. He just went off the reservation. He went off grid, and his reasoning was because he wanted everyone to keep their secret identity, because as you see in the comic books, Spider-Man, once Kingpin found out his name was Peter Parker, he had his family killed, or at least tried to kill his family. So that was one of the really big reasons as to the example of why Captain America wanted to keep everyone's secret identities a secret and not have them registered. Though in the movie, I think it's that the UN, I think it is attacked. So Bucky is framed, and Cap says they don't want to conform to the government. They don't want to be held under or responsible under the government. They need to stay independent, because if the government is able to control them, they can send them to places where the team might not want to go or shouldn't go. And if they're under the government might not send them someplace that they should go. So that's really what Captain America, why I think they will succeed, but we don't really know. We have to wait for the movie.
Yeah, I think the movie is going to be although different in major parts from the comic.
Yeah.
I think the movie is going to be superb. This has the potential to be Marvel's best movie. My favorite movie is Guardians of the Galaxy, but this might do it.
Yeah. Alright, so that's it for us, guys. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Who are you guys with? Team Iron Man or Team Cap? We will have to wait for the movie this weekend to see who actually wins the argument. But if you guys already do know who wins, don't spoil it down in the comments. This is a rough draft episode, so we might change a few things up in coming weeks. So until next time, get your nerd on.